Ninjago has been going on ever since 2011, so in 2026 it will be turning 15, and it still is probably going to be going in 2026, which some fans argue is for the betterment of the series, and some argue that it is worse for the series. They say it should have ended, the other side says it should keep on going. It's a very interesting argument to see the fan base partake in. I do have to say, though, that some of the takes that some of the fans of the community do have are, dare I say, unhinged, but then again that would imply that they're hinged to begin with, so when it comes to using terms like that to describe that, I politely decline. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and examine both sides of the argument, see maybe if there was a place that Ninjago should have ended, what season would have been best to end it off on, and where it should end off on in the future if it was to continue. Hi, welcome to Ninjago Nostalgic. I'm your least favorite Lloyd lookalike. Sorry I haven't posted for 2 months, and today we're going to be talking about the great Ninjago debate.
For better or for worse?
Start off by talking about the fans that want the series to continue, because they're not as vocal as the fans that want the series to end. Not because they're not caring about the show. They obviously care very much about the show. They just don't feel the need to be like, oh, Ninjago should continue, because, well, LEGO is obliging that request. The show is doing really well with its numbers, so it's not going to cancel anytime soon. When it has tried to cancel, fans wrote them letters saying, hey, don't you dare leave, come back. The point is that Ninjago fans that want it to continue still are invested in the characters, they're invested in the world of Ninjago, the realms, they're invested in what they grew up with, or even just stumbled upon very recently. They don't want it to end because Ninjago is a very unique world, and it has a very interesting appeal because it's little plastic yellow ninja people, and they go on these crazy quests.
Is he making this stuff up?
And they have all these crazy character developments and storylines, and that's what draws people to it. And people are still drawn to it to this day, and that's why it's still continuing. The numbers are good, people are watching it, they're responding, and that is why LEGO has continued to make the content. They've continued to make the show. Some of the fans will defend the show against people who say it should have ended by saying, we have yet to see more of the characters from Dragons Rising, and fans responded to them very, very well. Sora and Wildfire, people love those characters, and I do too. They're great, very well-written characters. I didn't like Wildfire at first, but she grew on me. She definitely got a lot better, and I feel like there's more room of growth in the character sense and growing on the audience, so I feel like the show continuing for a few more seasons is definitely justified if they wanted to go in that direction. But on the other hand, there is a growing faction of the fan base with a consensus that the show should have ended. Now, I've made this case myself in another video that Season 5, Possession, was a great place to end the show because it opened the door to new adventures, the possibility of new adventures, kind of like how Back to the Future 1985, when they made the ending of that movie, they didn't intend on making a sequel. They just wanted to show that the adventures with Doc Brown and Marty would continue. Just like how I feel like Possession could have had that same feeling, with them saying there's more realms to discover, more people to save, more things to do. I feel like Season 5 was a really good ending, and I'm not saying that Season 5 should have been the definitive ending of the series. I'm just saying that's a possibility. See, the thing is that if you want the series to keep going or the series to end, you will get your way. Because if you're watching the series, you can just end wherever, and there's multiple satisfying endings within the series. There's Season 2, there's Season 5, like I just said, it's more unconventional and less talked about as an ending, but it still would really, really work. There's Season 10, that was also a really, really good ending. And then there's so on and so forth. There's other seasons that you could stop off on. Either way, the point is your wish will be granted. You think the series should have ended? It's like a choose your own adventure, but an ending. Choose your own ending. You can choose where the series stops, and those who want the series to continue, it's going to for quite some time, I believe. I mean, the trajectory it's at, it's definitely going to continue for a couple of years, if not longer. But I do feel that people are dropping off of Ninjago, people are becoming disinterested, but there's a new audience coming to it. So as older fans might be dropping off, some newer fans might be coming in, and you have lots of loyal older fans that are still talking about it to this day. I mean, hello, look at me, I'm old as hell. But it's still going, and it's going to be going for quite a long time. Anyways, I'm just a guy who's mumbling his opinions on the internet. Who cares what I think? My opinion doesn't mean anything. Your opinion doesn't mean anything. But since our opinions both don't mean anything, you should let me know yours in the comments below. I'd definitely be interested to hear that. Because I've seen people on my Instagram, which you should definitely follow, by the way, or we have beef.
Does that mean that... What does that mean?
But there's friends of mine in the Ninjago community who feel like they're just not interested in the show anymore. And there's just fans who's just, telling me, they're DMing me, hey, did you see the new trailer yet? You see the new clip? So it's a weird dichotomy. There's friends of mine on both sides that are totally just separate. They'll still watch old Ninjago. Both of them will still watch old Ninjago. And one will watch the new, and the other one will just stay in their corner. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Where would you have ended it? That sounded like a sewer slide thing, and that's not what I meant. But where would you have ended the series? Again, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and X, even though I'm not really on there too often. If you don't subscribe here, we definitely have beef, you understand? So, yeah, again, sorry I haven't posted in 2 months. It's been crazy for me recently, but that's life, as funny as it may seem. And, well, that's been the video. If you like anything and everything Ninjago, make sure to subscribe to see more of your least favorite Lloyd lookalike. And remember, the resistance never quits.